All right, we're going to try again.
Yep. Take two.
Take two. We got kicked off the first time. Don't know what happened. Don't know if it was internet or maybe
my phone was
start that one. So who knows?
It may be internet because it's telling me my phone's not connected.
I think we need to sing a song.
Sing a song?
Yeah. Are you ready?
I can't quit my day job.
But you can sing this song. You know all the words.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. You
what
ready?
Song?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amy.
Hi.
Happy birthday to you. Woo!
That was totally random. I'm giving her a look like,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
I thought I don't know, but happy birthday, beautiful. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. I thought you were going to get me to try to sing Rise or something. I was like,
no.
Yes, I can sing every word of that song, but I usually need the rhythm behind it to get me to sing it. So, okay then. Very
so
cool.
Miss Amy is out there. Yay.
Yes.
Do me a great, she says, thanks, ladies. Do me a favor, if you could go ahead and like us, heart us, or whatever, and if you want to share us, please do, because the more people that we get in, I'm gonna talk about a contest that we're gonna start up.
Yes.
That we tried to do last week, but there wasn't enough people on, so we're gonna try and get as many people on tonight because we want at least 20 live viewers. Thank you. 20 live viewers, so we can give away free things to people.
Yes. Everybody loves to get free stuff.
Yes, we've got some free stuff. We got a goddess box we're going to give away free, Aphrodite. Where we have some beautiful extra large Kuan Yin cards around here somewhere. I put them somewhere. So we want to try and get at least 20 live viewers. I'm going to challenge it.
Challenge it?
I'm going to challenge the internet.
Okay, then. You work it, girl.
Well,
we can challenge it.
So let's start. Where are we at?
Okay, tomorrow is the 4th quarter of the moon. Basically, or I think it's, some people call it 3rd quarter, some people call it 4th quarter, because technically 4th quarter you're going into a new moon. So she's hitting her next phase. She is still continuing to wane. So it's really a time of reflection and looking back. So if you did any manifestation rituals or any sort of come hither oil, did I say oils or rituals?
Rituals. You said rituals first.
Okay, because I'm like, what? Sorry, I was reading recipes for oils. So if you did anything like that, it's going to be looking back on those notes that you have, reflecting on it, kind of trying to figure out, asking your guides for help on how to make next time even better. So anything that gave you a little bit of a hiccup or, drawback or anything like that it didn't manifest exactly how you might have thought it would.
Right. Something came in, but not.
Right.
Yeah.
So you want to reflect on that. And this way, when we go into the new moon next week, you can have those intentions and you have that focus and those goals, and you kind of know how to tweak your ritual and your intentions for the next.
Right. Absolutely. So I want to actually share something. A friend of ours, who shall remain nameless right now, who comes here to SSOW, our token.
Okay.
So
not on Facebook.
No, not on Facebook.
Okay.
So they came to me last night, and we were talking, and he had said that he had went back to one of his lists that he was manifesting in. Okay. And he's just recently got a promotion.
Aww.
And the list that he had found was everything that this new position is.
See?
So I am challenging everybody out there, please, please, please. This is such a easy thing to do. If you are trying to create something in your life, write it down. Put it in a spiral notebook. and you continue your journaling from that,
Right.
Write it down. Be specific if it needs to be specific. If it doesn't need to be specific, then that's okay. If it needs to be a certain color, it needs to look a certain way, then write it down. Because what we don't realize is that too many times, we're writing all these things or we're thinking of all these things and we don't go back to them.
This is true. I've done that.
Right. So we go, okay, where did I go wrong? What did I mess up? What was I not specific enough about? And, I teach intuitive development and not only intuitive development, I meant manifesting. I teach manifesting as well. And, things happen right in front of me in real time. I go back to that one where I asked the girl, okay, what is it that you're trying to manifest? And she says, I want a car.
Right. And the lady across from her is selling a car.
Literally across from her. And I can't make these things up because I can't tell stories. I'm not a good storyteller. So I have only real life experience to bestow upon you guys. And write it down. Make a list. What is the big picture? Amy, what does the house look like? How much money do you need for the house? In which avenues are you directing the income? Right. Is it a loan that you're seeking, or do you need the down payment, or, whatever it is, because Amy and Jen are planning on getting a house together.
Oh.
So, to take care of mom. So the thing is, write these things down because, and don't think of it in terms of, well, that's too much or that's too big.
Right.
Okay. It's so important that you don't limit the universe. Allow the universe to provide you everything that you want. Put a price on it.
Right.
I live in a 2,000 square foot home that was built in 2006. Mm-hmm. Okay. I manifested the availability of this house with my price range. The whole development around here, the houses run anywhere between 211 and 250, let's just say. Mm-hmm. Okay. All the houses are pretty much the same. They're all about the same square footage. A couple of them have pools in the back, whatever. We got this house for $160,000 on a foreclosure. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. There was not a single hole in the wall, not even from a push pin. Okay. There was no paint problems. The only thing that's crappy is the carpet, but it's a crappy carpet to begin with, so we can't think of things as too big.
Right.
We have to think of them as it's reasonable. Why is this not reasonable? This, of course, is reasonable. I need a home. This is what and this is what I want. And I went back through my list after I made my list. My list happened to be to the realtor, but I wrote it down. I typed it up exactly what I wanted. And he said, I don't know how you did this. In the 15 years that I've been working alongside my dad in the real estate business, he says, I've never seen this before in my life. He says, you did it. Here you go. Here's your home. Nobody bid against us. It was a foreclosure. The bank wanted to get rid of it. They accepted our loan the same day, and all we had to do is go and sign the papers. So I really, really, really want you to all think about the things that you need and want in your life, not on a scale.
Right.
Okay. And if you want to think of it this way too, if you're standing on the moon, how big is your house? It's not very big.
No.
And then if you go out into Andromeda, how big is the Earth? Not very big. No. So these things are not big. The reason why they feel big is because of our size.
It's all your perspective.
And it's all perspective.
Yep.
So a car is not too much. Hey, Jen. Hey, Alice. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Giovanni.
Hello, everybody.
So, it really is how we create in our lives. We create the opportunities to be there for us to take. We start saying yes and we start grabbing. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It was speaking to you. Yes.
It's fine. That's what this is for.
Yes. So we've got that coming in, and now is the perfect time to go back and look at, okay, what have I created so far? Mm-hmm. What am I not liking about the situation, or what am I enjoying, or what do I want more to when we go into, and of course be grateful for everything.
Yes. Grateful and gratitude should be a daily occurrence. Anything that you're doing, you need to have gratitude for it, because the only way it just, the universe recognizes it. And when it recognizes it, it's going to give you more. They're like, oh, you like that? Okay, we'll give you more of it.
Right.
So, and you're appreciative. I mean, if you think about it, if somebody is like, you can do everything to a T, you can, you know, shine their floors and go above and beyond the call of duty for people. If they never say thank you or say, well, what about that speck of dirt or that piece of food that dropped from when we were eating dinner? I just, you know, it's like when the nitpicking and all of that, and there's no gratitude behind it, how eager are you to go and help that person again?
Right. And it's the vibration of it too.
Same thing with the universe.
But on the other hand, and on the flip side, you may not understand what's going on at the moment. And it may seem like the suckiest situation in the world.
Like with us in the house.
Right. But to be grateful for even in that moment. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is you don't know what's happening on the backside. It's like a play.
Right. You don't know the behind the scenes.
Right. Susan shot Amy. Sorry, Amy. It was just the first name that came to my head. Susan shot Amy and the whole audience goes, but we don't see what's behind the scenes of what's going to happen next.
Right.
So that is how life is. We don't understand it in this moment.
No.
But it's coming into a reason. Something's being taken away from you to put you someplace else. Right. To drive you, to push you, to grab something else. Because we get comfortable. We get comfortable in this situation of being uncomfortable.
Yes.
So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Once again, even if it feels like the worst thing that could happen, but stop for a moment, reevaluate your situation. Right. Why is this happening? You know, even if you don't get an answer, you'll understand later why.
Right.
There we go. I'm done. I'm done. Good night, everybody. No.
Oh my goodness, you're funny.
So that leads into what you were going to talk about.
Yes. Last week was Emolk. I might be pronouncing that wrong.
Okay.
I apologize if I am. It is one of the first pagan holidays after winter solstice. Mm-hmm. It is the first after winter solstice. But it borderlines the 1st, 2nd of February. Okay. There was a lot of talk with the trifecta of things of the super blue blood moon mm-hmm. and then Emolk right there on its tail. Well, last week was a very intense 2 days for me because the full moon, it was like no sooner. I mean, I had gotten up, done my spell or my ritual work and was getting ready. I was all set to go to have my beautiful massage with a beautiful masseuse.
Lori Beth.
Yes, Lori Beth. She's amazing. She knows her stuff. I should have just shut my mind off, which I needed your help with, and just had faith in her because she is truly amazing. So here it is, that full moon, it had just crested and we were going, and it was starting to wane, and it was like a trigger. I was in the shower and all these thoughts started running through my head. And it was like, but what about this? What about that? You're going to break a table, or you're not going to be able to get up off the floor, or that, you know, and it was just everything. And then it was like, I had just gotten dressed and I messaged you. I was like, oh my God, I can't go. It's like, I need to cancel. I can't do this. Mm-hmm. It was my first massage ever. And I had this, it came to my head. I was like, I need you to write this down. And I messaged you that. I said, being morbidly obese, I do not deserve to be pampered, pleasured, happiness, or success. I didn't deserve any of those. And I like, there's a movie where they have the glass of glasses and they're filled with water. It's one mm-hmm. of those spoofy movies or whatever. But that's what it was. I was looking through that in my eyes as I was typing you, and I was like, oh my God. But it literally, I couldn't find my unit because I was like, okay, I need to think about how I can fix this and get this emotion because I don't know where it was coming from.
Right.
So I went and I was trying to find my juniper berry oil because I was like, that'll help with the massage. Couldn't find it. I was using it to make leg cream, and I couldn't find it. I didn't remember where I put it till I was leaving the parking lot. So I was like, screw that. Then I passed it and had to turn around on Market Street, which any of you that know Market Street, it's like crazy to try to do a Yui in at that place. So then I go and I pass it again. 2 times I passed it. So on that final one, when I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then I remembered I forgot my envelope that I needed to bring her. I was like, I was just like, I was done. I was still in tears. I walk in there and I'm in tears. And it's just like, and I told her, I was like, it's not you, it's me. I don't know what's going on. But long story short, she did an amazing massage. She knows her stuff. So you really need to have faith with people with this is their business and this is their niche, you know, and it goes beyond the business. It's their niche. It's their calling.
Lori Beth is amazing.
You know what I mean? It really, you know, it transcends it because it's honestly with a business, you can say, oh, it's just my job or whatever. But when it's your calling and it's something that really touches your heart, then it makes it so much better for your patrons to even go to, which you are one of those as well.
Thank you.
And you're part of this little story. So I had this beautiful massage from Lori Beth. I had this beautiful like release of just like, and then of course it was, okay, Anaswara, are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready for
my
me?
guys are stomping their hands at you. And then of course I come to my guru for theta healing, and it was very deep rooted things in my body that needed to be released and reprogrammed and changed. And it took honestly a couple days to fully get, you know, over, you know, to kind of just get off of the fog or numb
assimilate.
Or just, yes, good word. So in that essence, you need to go to a healer that can understand and know what you got to do. And it helps because I have had theta healings with you many times before. So it was like, okay, I knew that morning when these things were coming in, and it was like, I used my intuitive development training in the sense of, okay, you need to write this down. And it was literally, it was like, I was speaking from your point of view to you. Write this down. This needs to go. We need to change this belief system.
Yes, yes. So
it truly was very, very funny, but it resonated because it was the full moon had just gone.
And we had talked about emotions.
It was that crazy. It was just an overload. It really was a trifecta for me for those 2 days. But in that, I still have my beautiful theta healer.
Of course. Thank you.
And friend. Most importantly, friend.
Yes.
That helped. And then Lori Beth and her skills, it aided me in the sense of I had people I could go to, but I could recognize it. And it's in those moments that you recognize it, and it's important to have people that you can go to that understand what's going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it is an emotional time, especially that time, because you have Emolk, which the tradition of Emolk is actually for in gardening or, you know, back in the day when it was, you know, crops and getting fields ready. It was the first time you really got a chance to go out after that really harsh cold to start getting your fields ready, to start your sowing of your crops and getting that started the first initial seeds for things to grow in their cycles and stages. So in that sense, it's clearing out all those deep-rooted things. Well, me, I had to clean out those deep-rooted things.
Tammy. Hey, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy. I just talked to her. Everything okay? Because I know she, fingers crossed, the babies are okay. So for me, it was in the spiritual sense of I had to clean out those deep-rooted things that I had no idea I still had those beliefs wrapped around.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
totally out of left field.
And
totally.
I will tell you from the other perspective, from my perspective, one of the best things that you did throughout this whole thing was to go fix me. Right. I don't care what it looks like. It is what it is going to be, because a lot of times people shut down. Hey, Charlie, they shut down. and they, you know, they close off, and you're not ready to be healed then, you know.
Right.
To be perfectly honest, you know, when I have somebody come into my office, I love them and I care about them, and I will, you know, I will comfort them, and I will unconditionally wrap them with love, and I will compassionately listen to them. But if you're hiding things, nothing I can do.
Right.
You know, I will walk away from it going, okay, well, I did my best. You know, you have to be able to open up, and you have to be, I mean, there's things that I've had you muscle test that I was like, oh my God, she's going to hate me for saying this, or getting her to test this, you know, just because the internal goes, that's yucky. You know, right. I go, it's yucky. But when you're ready to go, I don't care what it looks like, let's do it. That's when healing works. That's when healing starts, where you're not hiding anything. And I, you know, a lot of times I'm like, can I see what's in there? Can I see what's in Pandora's box? Right. Give me permission. I asked, what, can I see your hairball? Can I see what it is?
Yes.
Right.
You do.
And when we say it out loud, then that gives me permission to pull up things. And as hurtful, emotionally hurtful as they may be, or, you know, as ugly as they may be, you don't want that in there. And I think it's human nature to hide certain aspects, to, you know, protect our heart. Okay, well, I built this shelter up so that this won't happen anymore. But the thing is that's not what happened. You closed it off and you allowed things, you know, and even with on Saturday when I was at Unity, which I still like, I'm very happy with my with my talk on Saturday. That, you know, it's that importance of being willing to do it.
You have to be open.
You have to be.
And you have to be open-minded. And it actually, I forget where we were talking about this, but it came to mind of just in general, is people can be so shut off and closed-minded. And literally it's like, oh my God, you put your hand on the small one, and it's like, that can be a nurture. I mean, people take it to certain, you know, there are the bad apples with everybody. Right. You know, in every facet of any being, there are bad apples. But for the most part, it is just compassion. It is, you know, just a nurturing aspect. Or even like today, I was at the grocery store and the lady in front of me was getting yellow roses for her son who has the flu and is trying to get over it. And here I start spouting sonnets. I'm like, you can burn sage, you can burn bay leaves, echinacea, and cut up onions in the room. And the lady behind the counter, she's like, are you a nurse? I said, no, I like holistic. I am a CNA, but I do a lot of holistic healing. And then the lady was in pharmaceuticals. She's like, yeah, we do Tamiflu. And it's like, you know, I mean, to each their own. She's like, I do think it's a balance, but it's like, you know, she was open-minded to listen to what I had to say, and I was open-minded to listen to what she had to say. And I told her, I said, I'll pop some emergencies in a quick minute just to give me some vitamin C boost. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid to go and take, you know, like a Dayquil or Tylenol. You know, I don't necessarily always steer away from pharmaceuticals, but I only go to them in the dire need. I try to do the holistic approach.
Absolutely.
Because that's, my body responds best to it.
Right.
But it's that open-mindedness and exchange of thoughts and ideas that really, if there was more of that out there, the world will be a much better and beautiful place.
Right. I agree. You know? I agree. Back to your sowing of the seeds and getting the earth ready. I can't say this enough, and I say it every season, at least once a season, is that we have to pay attention to what's going on outside.
You really need to, I mean, seriously, it makes me think of it there is, for any festival or holiday, it's like you need to look, because there could be something that, you know, like with me, a trigger, the full moon and Imbolc, and the same thing led to this massive, okay, we're going to get down to the deep roots that are still dug up in there that you need to clear out, and so we can get your stuff sewn and straight. Right. So in that respect, it is nice to look outside and be like, okay, well, look at a calendar of events or whatever. What's today hold? What is what does today mean? Sometimes you'll find those things where it says, you know, oh, it's National
Right.
Siblings Day, or, you know, Coworker Appreciation Day, or something like that. But there could be some history and facts to those things.
Right.
If you feel yourself really just in a turmoil, or something just triggered you, and all of a sudden you went from cloud 9 to 6 feet under,
Yeah.
and you don't know how it led to one from the other, you
Right.
know, you need to look and be like, wait a minute, it's a full moon. Wait a minute, it's a festival. What's this festival mean? What are the bases, roots
Right.
of the festival?
I mean, we talk about paganism a lot, but what paganism is the original way that things were done. We look at Farmer's Almanac, for
Yes.
example.
Yes.
Okay, so outside, it's winter time. It's still winter. Leaves are still falling off. It's still cold. Things are going dormant. Bears are going to sleep. You know, the wildlife is just starting to come out. I saw squirrels the other day and got happy. You know, we should be assimilating our moods, our changes, our fixings, our healings, our whatever to the season too. So, you know, when it is winter, it's time to bundle up. It's time to, you know, stay inside, go inside ourselves.
Reflect on the inside and focus
Right.
on that.
Then we can plant our seeds, which is creating and manifesting, you know, as spring comes through. You know, at the end of spring, we start to harvest, we start to collect, you know. Then we've got summer where there's relaxation, you know, celebration. There's sun going outside, abundance, you know, and then we go back into, you know, then we go into fall, and then we start to, you know, clean out our cupboards. And
harvest.
it may not be a spring cleaning, but I always do a fall cleaning.
I actually do like cleaning every season.
Yeah.
You can't, you have to, in order to make space for new, you have to get rid of some old.
Right.
So honestly, if it's no longer serving you, it's no longer has its purpose, or maybe its purpose is for a loved one you know, or somebody you don't even know, you know, you donate it, then yeah, you gotta.
Yeah. So look at what's going on seasonally, you know, with the earth. That's how we should be working. Because that's the vibration of what's happening and what's growing. And yes, I agree. Go through your things, see who you can give them to, save them as Christmas presents if you want to do that, you know, as you're cleaning through. If this book, you don't need this book anymore, you haven't read it, you're not looking at it or whatever, you know, donate it, give it, whatever it may be. And like I said, go through all of your things. I did a major purge. And I'm still getting rid of stuff. You know, I'm going through and I don't need this. I haven't used that in a year or more. You know, all of these things in the closet. I had a ton of tank tops and hardly ever wear them, you know. So really start to go through your things.
We did a massive purge before we moved, and we took at least 2 Suburban full, which if any of you have a vehicle and or have seen a Suburban, the older, before it gets a little bit smaller and softer and curvy.
Right.
I have one of the ones that's 99, big, boxy, beautiful, love her.
Mm-hmm.
You can fit,
You can fit everything in there.
I've fit those storage tubs, the plastic storage tubs. I can probably fit 15 to 20 in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was storage tubs, it was boxes, it was furniture. I mean, I fit a queen size bed in my Suburban.
Yeah.
So for me, for that purge, it literally was like, okay, let's shove everything in here. You know, it's like with my truck, there's no need for U-Haul.
Right.
Except for the really big
furniture,
things that I can't, you know, squeeze in the back. But it does feel good. I mean, I don't know if anybody else does, but when we purged and we got rid of stuff, you feel lighter, even though these are just objects and they are not touching you. They're not, you know, they could be in a storage shed.
Right.
But you feel lighter. You feel fresh. You feel there's a smile on your face. There's a glow and a pep to your step, and you're ready to go.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what did I say? Was it 13 to 15 pillowcases and 10 blankets or something like that? You know, they were all down. They were in the garage. They were up in the thing. You know, I pulled them down. I was like, okay, well, nobody's using them.
Right.
Let me give them to somebody who needs them. And took them down to the Salvation Army, and, you know, they're being used. I can't, you know, I can't say anything bad about that. At least somebody's using them, and I don't need them. And there's still more blankets in this house. it's not like we really lost any.
Right.
Underneath that bed over there, there is blankets and pillows. But those are for, guests when we have them.
Right.
But I mean, these were
You have
just
to keep
extras.
some of your stuff.
Right. And I like fuzzy blankets. So
Everybody likes a fuzzy blanket. And if Luna were here, she claimed her fuzzy blankets. Is Olive?
Yeah.
Does she want me because I ignored her when I was reading a book?
I don't know. Come on.
Hi, Olive!
Come on,
Hi,
Erica.
Olive! Come here, love.
She wants to be a part of the show.
Yes, she does. Of course she does. But she's not going to let me pick her up.
Say
Unless she's going to yelp.
Say hi to everybody. You burp? So you burp at everybody? That's
Say,
your
I
thing?
snorted, Mom.
Okay.
Say it's a reverse sneeze. Come here, love.
Yes.
You want your auntie time.
The mascot.
Yes.
The
She
mascot.
wants her love.
So,
She's happy now.
So yes, start cleaning up, start cleaning out so we can plant seeds,
Yes.
get your journal together,
Yes.
start writing things down. So super important.
Last week after all that, I was inspired to start journaling my journey because there was a lot of just stuff that, it was just crazy. And I felt the need to write. And I used to love to write. I used to write very deep. Sometimes we're dark, sometimes, well, not dark, but very deep emotional poetry. And I didn't know where to start. I started 3 different entries, and I will admit I didn't finish them. I still want to do them, but it's like I don't know where to start. But in that same respect, I still kept them because it's like, you know what? There's a reason why I started writing this.
Right.
So, okay, let's start and really, and honestly, I would say you need to do it in a quiet time, late at night, right before bed, start journaling, or do it first thing in the morning when you wake up.
That's my biggest prescription, and I've been dreaming like crazy dreaming.
You don't even want to know what I've been, and I actually remembered a little bit of vaguely a little bit of my dream last night, but it was kind of cuckoo.
Good, because we worked on that too.
I don't know what it was about, but
yeah.
Well, I know some, like I said, vague, but I don't know where it came from. Because in my cards a couple weeks ago, it told me to get rid of that. So I don't know why it popped up. I guess it's just, So you ready?
Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on, vibrationally out in the universe. There's a lot of things going on seasonally. There's a lot of things that are going on politically. So we've got all of this vibration that's happening, and we're all antennas. Yes, I'm going to let you out. Okay. We're all antennas, and we're all. Go ahead. Mem's calling you. Go. We're picking up on all of these things because we are, these antennas. And it's about paying attention to it. And why are you having a crappy day? What's going on vibrationally around you? What's going on vibrationally within you?
Yeah.
How did you sleep? Why did you sleep that way? What's going on in your dreams? All of these things really do factor, and they're very, very, very important, in the process of awakening, in the process of paying attention.
Right.
Because when I was younger, before I realized that I had the gifts that I could use, I was going to say that I was different, but I'm not really different. But anyways, whatever. That I used to love to dream. That was my favorite thing. And I was an abnormal kid. I like to go to bed. Send me to my room so I can go to sleep because I like to dream. And that's actually where my journey started off with, because I would analyze dreams.
Very cool.
And I would, talk to people, and they, I had this crazy dream, and I was, and I remember the very first dream that I ever read for somebody, and it was on AOL with the dial-up. Welcome, that kind of thing.
What is that?
That is nothing.
Okay.
It's another program that just decided it was going to pop up.
Nice.
And when I started realizing that I was making sense to these people with the things in their lives that are halfway across the world that I've never met before, that's when my talons really got into metaphysical work.
Right.
Because I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So I was doing it for free. Every other night I would log in and, all right, who's had a dream? Let me do dream readings. And we would get in these chat rooms, and I was doing dream readings for everybody. And that, of course, progressed because I was putting energy into it. So remember, as always, whatever you're putting energy into is what you're starting to create. That includes the negativity and the bad. If you're focusing in on that, lift that up, change it, flip it around, because you're just bringing more of it to you.
Right. Right. It really is one of those things. And I try to do this more now than I did years ago. But actually, just the simple thing of having a smile on your face. I find it very weird. I used to find it very weird to smile. But I feel lighter. I feel happier when I smile. I feel more energetic when I smile. When I talk to people, I call everybody beautiful or hun or dear, and it's all genuine. It's not, just fake, fake front or whatever, because everybody is beautiful in their own way.
Right.
And I try to be very uplifting and just push that to, not push, but project that to people so that they can feel it. And then hopefully they can spread that as well.
Yeah. It's kind of like you drive through Starbucks and the person in front of you paid for yours.
Kinda.
The pay it forward. And then
Right.
you pay for the one behind you, and then it keeps going and going and going.
Right.
So.
Has to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Why not with me?
Exactly. So, what else do we got? Anything else we got?
Not for me.
Okay.
I feel pretty good.
I'm actually going to be on Sarah Walter's show tomorrow night. I've shared that on Facebook, so you can go, and we're going to be talking about moon. It's going to be kind of
my favorite subject.
A little bit of a repeat of tonight. She's going to be working with Grandma Goddess, Moon Goddess, and what have you. And I am going to be talking about journaling and everything. So we've got that. In April, both of us, we will be at Unity Church for the Psychic Fair.
Yes.
So we're getting that together, and Maiden Minx will have all of her products out. I'll be bringing a couple things as well, and then of course I'll be there doing 15-minute readings. So we're working on stuff. We got stuff out, and of course we've got our beautiful goddess boxes.
Yes,
and
we do.
We've got Aphrodite this month, and so next week we'll be talking more about Aphrodite.
Yeah.
And by
Goddess Talk is going to merge with Enlighten Empower on Tuesday.
Yes, because we've got Miss Leia, who is out.
She's sewing her goddess rituals right now.
She's doing workshops and everything. So she's not, I know she hasn't been around for a couple months now, but we will get her back.
Yeah.
We will get her back so she can share some of her things as well.
Yes.
So we've got a lot going on. We are trying to do a giveaway, everybody. I would encourage you to share and either give us a heart or give us a happy face and like us, because if I'll even bring it back. If we can get top 10 live viewers, I'm going to do a random pick of people. We'll do a random draw, and we want to send you something free. We want to send you a goddess box, or we want to send you a Kuan Yin card, or we want to send you a tube of salt, or we want to send you a candle or something. We want to start giving free gifts out. So we want to boost that up. We're at 3 right now, 3 live viewers. I think at max today we had 4 or 5. But we're going to keep an eye on it, and we're going to keep it going till we can get 10, and then we'll get 20, and then we'll do 30 and try to get as many live viewers. So please, love us, like us, share us. The more that we get out there, then the more we can stretch beyond, just the small community that is watching us. I don't know what else. What else is there? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it really covered most of everything. I do want to say that reflect on everything that you want. There is no full moon in February. So you only have your new moon, and that is next Thursday. I think it's Thursday. It's probably in my other book.
Let's take a look.
Thursday. So, you definitely want to get those manifestations out there, especially with this being, you have Imbolc that just happened last week, and then you have, this is the Chinese New Year. if I remember correctly. So that's a whole nother phase of a new year that's going on right now. And then you have the first moments of spring coming up. And you got to think about all those seeds that it really is that whole planting of seeds. You want to make those manifestations. You want to plant those manifestations to see them blossom in the next few months. So I do want to just remind people about that.
Yeah.
Next week's new moon is going to be a really good new moon to do it in. Hey,
Stephanie, I have a new friend.
A new friend?
A new friend. Her name is Stephanie. She's beautiful.
Hi, Stephanie.
She's a very, very gentle, sweet, wonderful soul.
Aww.
And we had a session, and we got some clearing. We got a lot of clearing done actually in the time that she was here.
Very nice.
So I have a new friend. So hi, Stephanie.
Hello, dear. I'm trying to remember what the new moon is in next week. I can't for the life of me remember. Aquarius.
Ooh.
So,
we got Aquarius going on.
So it'll be new moon in Aquarius, and you can kind of, browse what Aquarius helps assist in your manifestations.
We can actually add that probably to our schedule when we do our talks. You can tell us where we're at and what that means and how to play with it, because it's so important that I don't talk about numerology very often because I'm not that well versed in it, to be perfectly honest. It's not something that I've really ever dove into very deeply, only because I'm dyslexic and numbers are kind of scary to me, and the incense is going to make me sneeze.
And bless you. Bless you.
Okay, thank you. No, I'm trying to hold them back.
I was about to say, because I know how you like to sneeze.
Oh, yes.
How they affect you.
They go on forever and ever. Regardless, with the numerology, the thing that I can tell you is that you can look at this as an 11-year. You can look at this as a 2-year, okay? But that's the vibration of the year. And the way that it's going to hit us each individually is based on our number.
Right.
Okay. So, for example, if the vibration is about cleaning up, clearing space, moving things out, lots and lots of change, your number may say, I hate change. I don't like change. Change is scary.
Right.
Okay.
And it'll be a tough year.
Right. And for me, it says you love to clean, you love change, you love things, on a clean slate. You're going to, so when we look at those kinds of things, you have to match them with your vibration.
Right.
Okay. So knowing that it's there, you may not like change. The year's about change. Absorb it. Start to incorporate, okay, well, this is why this is happening, because change is happening.
Right.
Because this is the year for change. Or, with a 1 year, I would tell you, okay, it's about solitude. It's about doing things on your own. Yes, you can ask for assistance, but you have to ask for assistance because you're on your own.
Right.
And if your vibration is, I like to be around groups, I like to be with a lot of people, you're going to find yourself alone a lot, which you may not be comfortable with. So It's not just the vibration that's out there. You have to remember which vibration you're in. Now, if you want to figure out what your life path number is you take your full date of birth. So mine is September 6, 1977. You do 9/6/1977. You add them all together and you break it down to the lowest,
single digit.
You keep adding and adding and adding. So I'm a 3. Yes, I'm a 3. I keep forgetting what I am. I'm a 3. And
you're going to have to make me break out the calculator.
Yes, I think you're a 5.
I think I'm a 5 too, which just makes sense because I'm always a 5 type of thing. 5 elements. It's just
and 3s are all around me. There's always been 3s. Everything comes in 3s. So, so I have to take my 3 and I have to understand what my 3. What my 3 is and what my 3 translates to with 11 and 2, because I can add them together and I can get this number and I can go to that number and say, okay, well, this is the year, this is what's going to happen. Or this is what the vibration is going to be, rather not what's going to happen. But, you really have to take everything into consideration. You have to take it in as a whole and you have to understand it as a whole, because if you're just going out there saying, okay, well, it's an 11 year, it's a highly spiritual year, woohoo.
Right.
But what does that mean for you?
Right. it's basically the more energy and really the more knowledge you have on certain things can further your journey.
Right.
You know, if you know how you're like, I'm a 5, which guess what? My birthday this year, I'll be 32. That's a 5. So I have a feeling this is just a big year for me.
Yes.
Which is just this realization just now. But seeing how 5 plays in with a 2, or seeing
I'll be a 5 this year too then.
Really?
I'll be 41.
Yes, you will be. Oh my goodness. Ouch. Doozies.
I got to deal with this? No I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, you don't like to fly by the seat of your pantyhose, but it's warming up to you, is it not?
It is.
Okay,
I usually like to be a little more prepared, but
yes, but you're doing very well at flying by the seat of your broom.
Yes, my broom.
But when you look at how things correlate, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to do a new moon ritual, and this is all I'm going to do. Well, then, if you take it a step further, okay, well, this is when the new moon is, and this is what the new moon sign is in. So, what does this sign affect for this new moon? What are the holidays coming up? The festivals that are coming up that can help influence that new moon? And even me, I've gone even further to where if the moon is in a void course, I won't even practice the ritual work until after that's over, because nothing really works when it's in void.
Right.
So it's like, okay, as I further and deepen my connection and my knowledge on subjects, it makes my rituals that much more potent, my rituals that much more special. And it really does just make that craft so much stronger.
Right, because this is the original. We talk about the original not vibration. That's something I was going to say religion, but it's not even a religion. It's a way of life, a way of being.
Right.
You know, before there were computers and phones and all of this stuff, the farmers were able to go outside and say, okay, or they'd count how many days, you know, and they'd say, okay, well, this is the time it's starting to warm up. This is when we need to do this, you know, or, oh, the leaves are starting to shed. This is what's going to happen.
Right.
You know, so we have to take old medicine back into play to understand how we are. It's not about, you know, WebMD all the time looking up your symptoms.
That's true.
You know, let's go outside and take a look around us and what's happening earthwise, what's happening, you know, in the air, what is going on? How can we apply the same tools as to what we're doing outside to our own?
Mother Nature knows. And if you look at how Mother Nature flourishes and survives and thrives, and how she goes about her daily life, then you can kind of know how we need to operate, because we are a part of her. You know, not to get all green goddess or anything like that on people, because I know it's to each their own. But if you look at that from the simpler standpoint, from just the true standpoint of Mother Nature, this is how it is right now.
Right.
You know, like today I was wearing this. It was absolutely gorgeous outside. It was that first breath of like spring air. It was nice, and the air was crisp, but yet the sun was warm, and you just felt it. I went outside to look at my irises to see if any were coming up, if I had any blooms. Not quite yet. The leaves are there, but they're not quite there yet. But she was there. You know what I mean? I go out back, and there's like 5 turtles on the bank. A week ago, there was only 2. So now there's 5.
They're all coming out.
Now the ravens aren't the only ones out there. I have I have blue jays. I have the cardinals. There's a bird with a darker blue feather, and an orange belly. I'm trying to remember what they are. But it's something about, somebody told me a phrase, when you see these birds, it's a sign spring is coming. So she's talking, she's letting us know that these things are on the horizon, and
it's time to start preparing.
Right. Get ready for it.
Yeah, get your seeds ready. Like, you know, a couple weeks ago, Mom already started her indoor greenhouse so that she can take them outside and then plant them once it's time for that. So, you know, we have to look at everything. Right.
And the more you make yourself known and the more knowledge you look at things, I mean, that is the phrase that I love. Knowledge is power. If you want to be, and it's not even like a power like, oh, I can smite you power. It's knowledge is such a powerful force. And the more knowledge you have, the better life you can lead.
And here's the best part of it. Somebody's already done the work for us. Somebody's already done all the hard work. They've written down everything. Farmer's Almanac, for example.
Yes.
It's all written down. All you need to do is go and look. And Farmer's Almanac is actually by the day, isn't it? Or
yes,
is it?
I do believe so.
Okay. So if you go and
I have my witch's
Almanac
calendar day book over there.
Right. So if you go pick up a witch's day calendar or a moon calendar or even
just a regular good old fashioned Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah. Look it up. See what the farmers are to be doing. They follow that. That's why it's an almanac, and that's why it's for the farmers. They look at it and they go, okay, this is the day, this is the time, but it's counted differently than our normal daily spring system. It's like so many days past this and so many days past that. Right. But regardless, they look and they go, okay, so now we need to start getting this ready. Mm-hmm. This is what we need to do. It's time to bring the horses out. It's time to do the plowing. Let's do this now. Let's dig up the earth. The snakes are still asleep or whatever, so really, really, really take the whole into consideration. Somebody's done all the work for you. All you need to do is look up and then be with that, be in that vibration and work with it. Yeah.
It makes it, I feel much stronger. I feel more passionate. It really, it triggers this whole like, oh my gosh, that's right. I can't believe that makes so much sense to me. Or, those sorts of things, those epiphany moments that you don't realize or have unless you were going to read this book or read this article or look up something just because you're curious. They say curiosity killed the cat, but I don't really believe that.
Right.
Because, honestly, cats are cautious.
They are.
You can be cautious and you can be curious, and it's all about learning. And the more you know, the better off. You should never stop learning. Yeah. That's my pet peeve for the day.
Right. I'm looking up Farmer's Almanac. I want to see if they have anything like posted for today, just for, example.
Don't you love Google? As much as we're talking about Farmer's Almanac, now we're going to Google.
Exactly.
Oh.
So we've got Farmer's Almanac. I don't know that it's going to break it down. What's the calendar today? Oh.
I can pull mine. It plugged yellow for happiness is one of its mentions for today.
Oh, well, there's a whole bunch of things that,
history.
Other than history. Mm-hmm. So we've got in 1560, Christopher Marlowe, the playwright, was born.
Nice.
Today in 1750, Aaron Burr, the politician, not the actor. Mm-hmm. 1780, Massachusetts joined the Union as the sixth state. This is just history and fun stuff for
Go to
me.
Calendar up top.
That's where I was at.
Oh. Go to... Don't click on it yet.
There we go.
Go to like moon phase or fishing. It'll tell you kind of what you need to do with the fishing. What fish you should be looking out for. Best times to fish.
Best fishing days, January 1st, 16th through 31st. It's so
do you know, just looking at this right now, it's in the waxing moon. Every cycle on that is from the new moon to the full moon.
Yeah. And farmers use the moon. They use the moon calendar.
That's in my book.
That's a big part of it. So right now we're at 60%, 21 days.
Yeah.
It's all relative. Everything is relative.
It's amazing how so many things are interconnected, and it's that whole thing of, you told us in class, your orange and my orange are two different oranges.
Right.
Well, God and divine.
Right.
Same thing, just two different labels.
Right.
And in essence, my witch's date book to the Farmer's Almanac, basically the same thing, except they may have more of a pagan twist on the holiday season.
Right.
So in that essence, it really is. You just have to be open-minded, that it's just people's different views on it and how they interpret it and how they perceive it and put it forth to people versus somebody else.
Right.
It is actually a beautiful thing.
It is. It is. And like I said, somebody's already done all the work for you. Mm-hmm. It's kind of just like flipping open a book and reading. That's it. That's your day planner.
That's very cool.
Incorporate that in.
Very nice.
All right.
Well, I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good. I think we're done.
I feel like I need a Farmer's Almanac now.
Yes. And Amy, if you are out there still with us, this is for you. This is coming to you in replace
Aphrodite.
of your incense for Aphrodite. So I've made it. It's actually homemade room spray, and it's got rose crystals.
Yeah.
Rose crystals in the bottom,
tingle.
you know, as an agitator. So it's all mixed up and it's all great in there for you. So that's the one that's coming to
really
you.
good.
Yeah, I made her a dragon's blood one. So
I love me some dragon's blood.
all right, everybody. So until next week, and like I said, you know, we've had, I think, a maximum of 4 watching at one time. Come back next week. Let's see if we can bump it up, and let's start giving away stuff, because we've got stuff to give away for you.
Yes.
So, or to you, rather. Not
we
for
might
you.
have to post that and say free giveaway. Just so people know that that's what's going on.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.
And see you next week.
Yes, next week.